Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. Dream is the theme. Hello. This is Melanie, aka Indigo Goddess. Um, so I finally got out to the supply store today, and I was able to get some more sage and Palo Santo and some things that I needed. I came across this deck. It is the Dream Oracles deck. It says for the Awakening Dreamer by Kelly Sullivan Walden. Um, Fusion art by Rasuli. Um, so this one particular store I go to, they have a lot of decks, and I was drawn to this one because I dream and I get a lot of messages in my dreams and things like that. So it kind of resonated with me. So they gave me this nice little bag to put my cards in. And so what I have to do now is I have to cleanse the deck or consecrate it and basically put my energy into it. So I'm going to use this sage that I bought. So there's several different types of sage, and as you can see, it's like getting all over the place. But let's make this up. So I'm gonna cleanse the deck from negative energy. I also have my selenite crystal here. I'm going to cleanse this as well. This crystal, when you surround it with other crystals, it kind of like enhances the power of all the other crystals. It's important to cleanse objects that you buy because so many other people may have touched it and they transfer the energy. Let's see. I'm just gonna let my sage burn to the side. A little bit. I finally got my stand with the light in, so I'm also playing with that. It's kind of weird. I'm scared that my phone is gonna like drop out of it, but it seems to be doing okay for now. This isn't where I normally do my cards, but I have to play around with the backgrounds and stuff like that. So I'm gonna open the deck. It's very pretty. The book is pretty. I'm gonna read the back really quickly. It's the second edition. It said, "Dreams are love letters from home, written in our first language, the language of the soul, always pointing us towards higher ground. The soul speaks the soul speaks to us through our dreams in pictures and metaphors. Dream oracle cards explore 53 of the most common modern dream symbols and archetypes. The accompanying 136-page illustrated guidebook contains a message, a meaning, and a mantra for each card, providing in-depth insights into dreams. This set can help you bridge the gap between your dreaming and conscious minds to discover a more soulful way of interpreting your life and fulfilling your wildest dreams." So they're really pretty. I like it. Anyone that knows me knows that I dream. I dream vividly. I dream of things. I've had premonitions. I always have symbolism in my dreams. Animal spirits come to me in my dreams, like animals that I've never even seen in real life before. Very vivid. I have a few different dream books and a few different resources that I use. Get this out of the way. I'm interested to see how this is going to work. Not how it's going to work, but what kind of messages I'll get, and see if I recognize any symbols that I've had that I haven't found in one of my books. This seems to be a little more modern. Um, so I'm gonna cleanse like the actual cards now. And I'm gonna hold it over the sage. Just gonna feel them, get familiar with them. Oops. I've had this little cauldron for forever. I don't even remember where I got it from, but I love it. Gonna leave my selenite on it for a little bit with my hands. And just kind of like let that sit there for a little bit. So earlier today, I did shuffle through the deck that I've used before in one of my other videos, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I did get 3 cards that popped out. I wasn't really meditating or focusing on anything, but after I read the cards, I definitely felt like this was specific to me, just because of what I'm going through lately with life and work and this, you know, building this brand. So this first card, I don't remember which order they came out in, but it says everyone lives in their own dream. Ha! Funny, because I pulled this before I even went to the store, and look at that, I went and bought the Dream Oracle card. That was not intentional. I just realized that. That's funny. Synchronicities, you know? Synchronicities is a real thing. So yeah, everyone lives in their own dream. Dream Oracle cards. That's funny. So this card says, all people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. So this kind of resonated with me. Oh, I also got this. This was a little gift. I don't know what kind of crystals or what these are, but it's really pretty. I never do like the lighter colors. And this is a tiger's eye bracelet. Tiger's eye is for protection. So all people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. And it gives me, you know, I tend to forget that everyone doesn't think the way. Alright, I'm back. I had a phone call. Shout out to Mars for giving me this little cute index holder for my cards. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So where was I? All people live in a dream. And bear with me because I have this stand and it just took me like 10 minutes to poke this thing back up. Alright, so all people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They're in a completely different world from the world that we live in. And sometimes I tend to forget that, or we tend to forget that everyone just has a completely different mindset from the ones that we have, or the ones that we grow up learning or having or instilling in our own minds. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating when people don't see your perspective, or they don't understand your point of view, and they just don't get it. Or it's frustrating when their outlook on life is so different from yours. For example, myself, I have a crazy work ethic, right? So I'm a Virgo sun in 6th house Virgo. Anybody that knows anything about astrology, Virgos are very hardworking. They're very they're servers. They're hospitable. They serve other people. They're very diligent in their day-to-day routine. Sun being in the sixth house, which is Virgo's original house of the sixth house, it just kind of like amplifies that a lot. And me personally, I do have a crazy work ethic, and it doesn't matter what type of job or what type of thing that I'm doing. Everything that I do, I take very seriously. I'm very diligent in my work and prideful, and what needs to get done gets done. And I don't care if I'm working some, mediocre little job. A job is a job. It doesn't matter. Just because a job is less than something that you considered making six figures at, it doesn't mean that it is less than. Like a job is a job and it should be taken seriously. So that's just my approach on life in the work field. And I always come across people that don't have that same mindset and don't have that same mentality. They're just a little more carefree. And sometimes I am a little envious because I wish I didn't put my all or all of my emotions or my heart and soul into a job and essentially stress myself out. Like, that's not okay. So this card just helps me realize that it is okay for them to do what they do, even though their work ethic might suck more than mine. But it's also okay to go back and forth. It's okay for me to have a strong work ethic, but I also need to learn how to go in between in between the two worlds. So then the other card that I picked, or that came out, was always do your best. Your best is changing all the time. Your best will depend on whether you are refreshed in the morning or tired at night. Your best will be different when you are happy as opposed to upset, or unhealthy as opposed to sick. I messed that up. So, or healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and self-regret. So that's also like good advice. Recently it's been weighing on me that I am always tired and I don't have the energy. And if I did have energy to do things, I'd be so much more productive, or I've had more things done, or I'd just be in a better mood. And that's just a card to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you are resting. I have to remind myself that, because I'm that type of person that I feel guilty when I rest. When I know that I have something that I need to get done, I feel guilty, about not doing it. I'm slowly starting to get out of that, to where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take the day off to myself, and that's it. But it's still a work in progress. And also, I've been trying to drink a lot more water and be a little bit more healthy, and kind of contribute to getting a better night's sleep. Because at the end of the day, I go to bed tired and I wake up tired every day for like the past 36 years that I've been alive on this earth. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what it feels like to wake up and to feel refreshed. And it sucks. It really does suck. And I get up and I go and I go and I go and I go every day. And I kind of get like these little microbursts of energy throughout the day to keep me going. But at the end of the day, I'm just like dragging my exhaustion from one day into the next, into the next, into the next. So to anyone that also experiences that, or you feel tired, or if you need to see your doctor, go see your doctor. If you need to do more holistic things, do that. Definitely look into being healthy, because being mindful of that, it helps your mood, it helps your energy. I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm working on it. So that's that. And then this is another one. Always do your best. Honor yourself. Honor the man or woman that you are. Take the risk to express your dream. Dream, again. Dream is the theme. Taking action is about living fully and expressing what you are. So I've been working on my brands, little by little, trying to build up a platform. Not crazy. I'm not like begging people to like my stuff or anything like that. I don't need to. But working on the content and it's hard to work on the content when I'm busy or I'm tired, which is why I haven't done a video in like a week or so. But I'm not like rushing towards it. I'd rather have the time and the energy to do it than like kind of like force something out there that's nothing. And again, this is a video that I'm just winging too, aside from the phone call interruption I had earlier. I've just been going at it, and I'm just gonna see where it goes. So yeah, let's go over this again. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are completely different from the one we live in. Your best will depend on whether you're fresh in the morning or tired at night. Your best will be different when you are happy as opposed to upset, or healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid judgment, self-abuse, and regret. Honor the man or woman that you are. Take the risk to express your dream. Taking action is about living fully and expressing what you are. And I've always been a person that's big on morals. You know, I don't care who you are, what you believe. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. There's no in between that. Do the right things. Be a decent person. Those are moral codes that everyone should live in. Be honest. Don't cheat. Don't lie. Don't steal. Be fair. Be humble. And when you are those things, you're comfortable, and you're comfortable being yourself, and you're comfortable, you know, it brings peace to your life. And that's just a lifestyle that is worth living, depending on whether you have nothing or whether you have everything. Having a good moral compass is really important. And if you don't, then you need to work on that, or you need to be aware of that, you know? So that's that. I'm gonna let those marinate there, and I'll touch back on that. And again, you know, doing your best and taking risks and expressing your dreams and being yourself. It's very hard, especially like with this and what I'm doing. You get a lot of clapback from people that are very like scared of being spiritual, you know, and that's fine. You know, everyone's entitled to their own beliefs. But even still, I don't put down somebody else's beliefs just because I think it's full of shit. You know, you just, if you don't believe in something, you don't have to be all nasty about it. Just carry on with your life. Like, stop. Because then you become that negative or that bad moral person. Like, there's no reason for you to, like, bash somebody just because of what they believe in. You know, don't be scared to express your voice. Don't be scared to say what you think or say what you feel. Like, just stop fearing that. And I'm gonna just leave that there. So, dream. Let's shuffle these a little bit. I'm keeping an eye on my stand because it's a little shaky. Seems to be working though. Like after the initial setup and it's stable, it seems to like do this job. Dream Oracle card. Also, I astral travel a lot. I have a lot of lucid dreams, which also drains a lot of my energy during my sleep. Crazy dreams. A lot of subconscious stuff going on. I used to chalk it up to like anxiety dreaming, but it's not really that. It's just insightful dreaming. Sun, Aries rising, Libra moon, into all things spiritual ever since I can remember. Oops. I have small hands. Some of my decks on my other cards are like, I can't even hold in this hand. So they're very difficult to shuffle. But this one's not so bad. I just suck a little bit. Like all the different colors I'm seeing in the deck so far. Very nice. I'm gonna close my eyes. I think I just want one card. I never do more than 3 in a deck like this. This one wants to come out. Flood. Crazy. Okay, so when I was a child, I used to have these crazy dreams about a tidal wave, and it was like a recurring dream. It was like a tidal wave or like a tsunami or something, and I was on like, as a kid, and I was on like some island facing the ocean, and like the I'm not gonna take those as two. It was like stone steps going up like a mountain. So it was like picture you're like in a boat and you're going towards an island, and then the island is like really like a huge rock, right? And then it's like, it kind of like looked like a stadium, and then it was like all seats, like stadium seats, and then there's the ocean, and then I would be on those stadium seats, and a tidal wave would come, and like I would die. Well, I didn't experience the actual dying part, but it was pretty fucking scary. So I used to have that dream a lot when I was a kid. Alien. And never could really figure out why. Like, I always chalked it up to like maybe some type of past experience. You know, water. That's it. Water has to do with your emotions. I just couldn't understand why, like, I was so young and I was having such a like traumatizing emotional dream like that. So it could have been many things. But anyways, the first one I get was flood, and in it is a big tidal wave, so it made me remind me of that. It also almost looks like a heart too. It says express the ocean of your emotion. That's interesting. This next one is alien. It says accept that you are an unrepeatable, spectacular phenomenon. So anyone that needs to know that, look at the world and the alien. Accept that you are an unrepeatable, spectacular phenomenon. Not sure who needs to hear that. And the other's party. This looks like one of the tarot deck cards. It says celebrate yourself. So a lot of self-love in these cards, right? With the, you know, people that live in their own dreams and getting the rest that you need and being healthy and doing your best and honoring yourself. Honor the risks to take your dreams, and then that's party, celebrate yourself, accept that you are unrepeatable, spectacular phenomenon, and express the ocean of your emotions. Like, this is a lot of inner work, healing work, self-recognition. You know, maybe you've been spending this quarantine time really focusing on yourself and really tying up loose ends and taking care of yourself and setting up new routines and new habits and healthy ones. And maybe you've been separating yourself from toxic relationships and friendships and work relationships that you had to let go. And this is really like, for me especially, I've been here, and yeah, I work and stuff, and I work a lot, but when I'm home, I've just been focusing on me and home and what I'm supposed to be doing. I think I could have accomplished a little bit more, but I did pretty good. So I think that a lot of other people have been working on themselves a lot, and kudos to you. Like, this is a pat on your back. Like, you did all the right things, you made all the right choices. You're doing really good. So let's read what these have to say. So we have flood. Mae West said, "Too much of a good thing can be wonderful." Well, that may have been true for May, but for most of us, too much of anything, good or bad, can leave us feeling overwhelmed as we dog paddle our way through life. Perhaps you've been bottling up your feelings and it's time for a good cry. If this is the case, light a candle, get out your journal, write about what has been burdening your heart, and let it rip. Cry your heart out and release the ocean of your emotion. If you're in a crisis, think of it as a cry for Isis. Isis is known as the goddess of motherhood and fertility, who the Egyptians believe floods the Nile River every year with her tears of sorrow for her beloved Osiris. Tears are highly underrated. They are the vehicle of your transformation, just as an amniotic fluid nourished and protected you as a fetus, transforming you into an infant. Let the flood of your tears birth you into a whole new incarnation of yourself. Once you fully express yourself, the sun will come out again and reveal a whole new horizon of possibilities. Meaning, catharsis. Flood dreams signify that you are feeling over your head with emotions, or you may be drenched with a torrential to-do list. You may be feeling saturated with more abundance than you think you can handle. I'm laughing because of the to-do list, and I said I got tying a lot of loose ends and getting stuff done. You, with more abundance than you think you can handle, as your subconscious expands your capacity to receive and transform into a more bountiful version of yourself. If you dream of a storm or a tsunami, this represents that you may be undergoing radical change, in which case let yourself cry and ride the wave of transformation. Mantra. I am becoming a more expanded and powerful version of myself than ever before. That's a great mantra. Let's say it again. I am becoming a more expanded and powerful version of myself than ever before. I like that. It's really powerful. I like that this was the very first card that popped up because I want to say that my tsunami dreams are the very first dreams that I've ever had. So the fact that I just got this deck and I'm just putting my energy into it, this being the first card, definitely know that like my spirit guides are here, source is here guiding me, just showing me that I did the right thing. And the more you are doing what you are supposed to be doing and you're taking the path that you want to take, the more doors will open up for you, or the more things that will come into your life, and they'll kind of just like blend into what you're doing. And it's like, yes, like you ever have deja vu, like this checkpoint? So it's like, yes, like this and this happened, let me do some more of this good stuff so that a few more things can line up for me. It's just, confirmation that to encourage you that you're doing the right thing right now. So let's check out Alien. I've never dreamt of an alien, FYI. Not that I can think of, but I have astral projected out into like the universe. It was really cool. You are unique, just like everyone else. Being cast out is among one of our deepest, most primal fears. But you can relax knowing that despite appearances, you are inherently connected to the whole of life. With this awareness, it is now safe to probe into the places where you feel different, where your out of sight, out of the box talent and genius waits to express with a bullhorn. Bright light to these hidden aspects of your uniqueness and watch the illusion of separateness and your longings for belonging dissipate. Honor the fact that you stand out from the crowd and learn to wave your freak flag with pride. So this ties into me doing something different that, you know, isn't always looked on, especially by like religious people, and you're like, it's the devil and blah 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 blah. That's a whole another video, my thoughts and stuff on that. But I spoke about this before in a previous video. You know, this is what I feel, this is what I do, and these are not conversations that you have with a lot of people, because you are made to feel that you're different, or you're made to feel that you're wrong for not going with what everyone else believes. And ever since I was a kid, I always had my own strong mind and came to my own conclusions about things. You know, I didn't just soak up what was told to me, or what was, oh, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to believe that and you're supposed to do that. Like, let me learn it for myself, and then I'll decide if that feels right to me or not. So interesting, because you saw me pull these cards and we kind of just like, you know, talking. So the meaning, uniqueness. Often what is most alien to us is ourselves, especially our higher selves. Alien dreams reveal feelings of rejection, loneliness, and alienation. Perhaps you are afraid of exposing your true self for fear of being cast out. If your dream takes place in outer space, you are opening to a universal perspective beyond the myopia, maybe I'm saying that right, of mundane, ordinary life. Tapping into unexplored solutions and inspiration. A higher vision is now here to assist you with your earthbound challenges. Pretty cool, because I always feel like I'm from another planet, honestly, or another time, because I do not fit in with people, with belief systems, with behavior patterns. I don't know. I want to find more people that are like me, because it does get boring and lonely, and I'm not the most social person either, but sometimes you want to have a conversation with somebody. I remember I was driving home from work the other day, and I was just like, I had an agitating day, and, you know, shame on me for letting energy influence me, but I'm not perfect. But it did remind me that I need to work on rejecting energy. I am an empath, so I do get affected really easily by the energy around me, and I get cranky. And anybody that knows me knows that I get cranky very easy, and I get pissed off, and I get angry, and it's my Aries rising. I'm a hothead, you know. So that's that. And I remember driving home, and I was like, oh, you know, I wish I had someone to call to vent to my day about. And then it reminded me, and I'm like, oh, you know, I do wish I had someone to call to vent to my day about, but it's not fair to the person that I want to call to vent to my day about, because why do I want to project my negative day onto them? Maybe they had a really good day, and maybe they're going to soak up my negative energy and be like, you know, feel bad, or it'll change their mood, and I don't want to do that to anyone either. So the best thing to do is to express it in the video, express it in writing, or don't really express it at all. You don't want to hold everything in, but you have to try and let things out. And I used to get upset. I do get upset because I do think that you should be able to have conversations with people mutually. You know, I don't always want to hear about somebody else's problems, and then when it's time for them to hear about my problems, it's a problem. Like, no, you're just using me to vent for your, you know, convenience, and then you don't really give a fuck when I have something to say, because you really don't care, because you're so self-centered and caught up in your life that you don't even see what's going on in other people's lives. And part of me is like, well, shame on them. Like, but part of me feels bad for them too, because they are so self-centered and they're not even thinking outside of themselves. But you can't be mad at them, but it is annoying. And my suggestion to that is to just not even take in their shit either. Like, I'll take in and I'll listen to your stuff every so often, but I'm not going to do that every day. You're not going to use me as your venting bag, because that's just not fair. So the mantra for Alien is, I am a one-of-a-kind creation, and my uniqueness is fully embraced by my universal family that is united in love. Wherever I go, I know I am at home. All right, so we are going to move on to party. Celebrate yourself. Sir Isaac Newton said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. There is strength in numbers, and whether you can see them or not, you have legions of joyous beings toasting you, uplifting you, and doing a victory dance for you at this very moment. You are walking through a rite of passage, elevating from one level of consciousness to another. All your hard work is finally paying off. However, if you are like most people, you may already be fixated on where you think you should be 10 steps from now. Instead, take a moment to pat yourself on the back. Acknowledge how far you've come and celebrate the miracle of who you are and where you are at this very moment." Meaning triumph. Dreams of a party reflect your level of self-integration, integrity, and harmony within the many aspects of yourself. If you dream of being a party crasher or don't feel that you fit in, you are at odds within yourself, grappling to find a sense of unity and belonging in your waking life. If you are trying to stand out from the crowd, perhaps your sense of self-preservation is in conflict with the part of you that wants to toe the party line. If you dream of being celebrated at a party, you are unified, strengthened, empowered, and championed within the multi-dimensions of yourself. Mantra. I celebrate the diverse energies within me as I realize that I am the life of my own party. So, the saying, they say, you can't find happiness in things or in other people. You can only find happiness within yourself. And I think that's really important, especially during this time. If you're isolated or you're not around people, that'll happen for a reason. And sometimes you're not meant to be around all the people that you've been being around, or you're not supposed to be in all the places that you were meant to be in. And if it really affects you that much, you have to start looking at your codependency and why does it affect you that much. Why do you feel like, why can't you be at home? Why can't you be comfortable at home? Why can't you be comfortable alone? Why can't you be comfortable with yourself? That's something to really, really work on. I've not really had that problem because I like being alone more than I like being around people, but I do go through my phases where I'm like, last night I got out of work and I was walking around and I was like, I wish that there was someone close by that I knew that, like, we could just be walking around together. Not really doing anything specific, but just enjoying the night, but instead of like getting, upset about it, kind of like how I started to, I just started to like check my feelings, and I'm like, I have to be happy with myself. I need to take this walk, and I need to enjoy the fresh air, and I need to enjoy like the architecture and buildings and plants and whatever, everything around me, and just enjoy it, be present, don't be upset. Yeah, there's things that I used to like doing and can't really do, you know, the convenience of having things at your fingertips, and now, you know, we're kind of restricted from those things. But you have to make the best out of every situation that you're in. And a lot of people are going through things emotionally, and a lot of people are evolving emotionally and mentally, and a lot of us are going to come out of this on the other side very different, very different. So just recognize that and understand it, depending on how drastic it is, or who the person is, or what the situation is. Everyone is transforming in a different way, or transmutating in a different way, and we're not going to be as close to certain people, or places or things are not going to sit right with us as much, and that's all right. Just kind of find your own way, and don't get into this where, oh, everything's different, I'm gonna be rejected. Or no, it's time for you to find new people, new crowds, right? So this has been something that's on my mind. Like, they say that, so they say that it takes 30 days to break a bad habit, and hopefully a lot of people did break some bad habits during this isolation period, because it's been way more than 30 days. And hopefully you've created some new habits, and created some new hobbies and adventures, and just kind of figured out things differently. So as people are changing and your environment is changing, it's going to be different, and you might fare meeting new people or exploring your new hobbies or interests. You know, maybe something came up and you're like, oh, I really like that, but that's different than what I'm used to doing. Or, oh, what if like my friends don't like that? Or what if my friends think I'm weird? Or, you know, I'm different. What if people say I changed? Like, who cares? Honestly, who gives a fuck if you're the alien of the party? You know, like, don't try so hard to fit in, because your people are gonna love you regardless, even if they don't believe in everything that you do, or don't have the same beliefs as you. Like, your friends who really care are going to care. And that's just how it is. And then some of the people around you were just superficial to begin with. So within that, within like your transformation and becoming someone different than who you were, like, celebrate that. Celebrate yourself, your new self. Celebrate the different level that you're going into. And don't be scared, and take the risk. Take the risk to do the right thing. Take the risk to follow your dreams. And take care of yourself. So, I'm going to leave it at that. Pretty interesting. I really like this new deck. My left hand is like on fire right now. And I'm going to stew over this and see where I need to apply this to myself, and take it from there. So have a good night.